Hello guys, today our topic of discussion is chemistry of carbohydrates. So first of all, we need to define carbohydrate. Carbohydrate are carbon compound that contain large quantity of hydroxyl group. Like carbon chain के इर्द गिर्द OH group, हर कार्बन के इर्द गिर्द जरूर हाइड्रोक्सिल ग्रुप मौजूद होंगे. The general formula is CH2O into N. Simplest carbohydrate molecule is known as monosaccharide. Monosaccharide has 3 to 7 carbons atom. Either aldehyde and ketone or hydroxyl group is present nearly on every carbon. Like carbon, हर कार्बन के इर्द गिर्द OH हाइड्रोक्स aldehyde या ketone group ज़रूर मौजूद होगा. Carbohydrates are defined as polyhydroxy aldehyde or ketones. Sugar that contain aldehyde group is known as aldose, whereas those contain ketones are known as ketoses. If the carbonyl compound is present on the terminal carbon like this, then it is known as aldehyde compound. If it is present within the chain, mostly it is present on a 2 number carbon, then it's known as ketone. Ketone group like the example of aldose or keto sugar are given in this. Like if the carbonyl compound is present on the carbon number 2, then it is known as keto sugar, and example of this is deep fructose. This is the keto group. And if the carbonyl compound is present on the terminal as present in the D-glucose, then it is known as aldose sugar. Biomedical importance of carbohydrate. Glucose, it play a dietary role in mammals and different living organisms. Glucose is also known as dietary carbohydrate. It also play important role. Carbohydrate also storage role in इसका ribose and deoxyribose in nucleic acid. They also play important role in genetic material transfer from one parent to offspring. Galactose in the lactose of milk is also an example of carbohydrate. Carbohydrate can combine with lipids to form glycolipid or protein to form glycoprotein and peptidoglycans. Disease related to carbohydrate metabolism include galactosemia. In this, the galactose metabolism is defective. Lactose intolerance, लाइक इसमें जो डाइटरी प्रोडक्ट्स होते हैं वो इंसान हज़म नहीं कर सकता. एंड ग्लाइकोजन स्टोरेज डिजीज़ एंड डायबिटीज़ mellitus in which the accommodation the glucose level in the bloodstream is raised. Now we come to the classification of carbohydrate. Carbohydrates are classified as monosaccharides, disaccharides, oligosaccharides, and polysaccharides. This classification is based on the number of carbon atoms. If there is one sugar molecule, like they don't those carbohydrates that cannot be hydrolyzed are put in this category of monosaccharides. The example of these are glucose, fructose, and galactose. Disaccharide, those carbohydrates that give two sugar molecules or two subunits of monosaccharide on hydrolysis are known as disaccharide. Example of these are sucrose, lactose, and maltose. And those they are sweet in taste. Now come to oligosaccharide that give 3 to 10 monosaccharide subunits are known as oligosaccharides. Example of these are raffinose, etc. Now come to polysaccharide that gives monosaccharide subunit more than 10 are put in the category of polysaccharides. Polysaccharides are further classified on homo and hetero. Those that contains same type of subunits are known as homosaccharide. The example of these are starch, glycogen, and cellulose. And those polysaccharides in which the monomers are a combination of carbohydrate monosaccharide subunit and some other like protein or maybe lipid, then it is known as heteropolysaccharide. Example of these are gags. Now classification of carbohydrates are monosaccharide, disaccharide, oligosaccharide, polysaccharide on the basis of number of carbon. And complex or derived carbohydrate, those in this Complex or derived carbohydrate, other type of organic compounds are also attached with the monosaccharide subunits. Now monosaccharide are the simple sugar cannot be hydrolyzed. A carbonyl group like aldehyde or ketone and several hydroxyl group are present on the sides of carbon chain. Monosaccharide on the basis of functional group classified into two classes, aldoses and ketoses. Those in which aldehyde group is present at the one end is known as aldoses, like this is present on the terminal side. On the other hand, if the carbonyl group is present within the chain, then it is known as ketoses, as present in the deep fructose. Now, monosaccharides are further classified on the basis of number of carbon atom in that subunit. Like if monosaccharide start from 3 and ends at 10, those compound in with 3 those monosaccharide in with 3 carbon are present are known as trioses. Example of this is glyceraldehyde, and those in which 4 are present is known as tetroses. Example are erythrose. Those in which 5 carbons are present is known as pentose. Example are ribose. Like and then those in which 6 carbons are present are known as hexoses. Example of glucose and fructose. Now we come to second class of classification, that is disaccharides, those sugars which yield two molecules of monosaccharide on hydrolysis is known as disaccharide. They are also sweet in taste and yield two monosaccharide subunit on hydrolysis. They are linked by glycosidic linkage to form disaccharide. This is the glycosidic linkage or bond. Here are some monosaccharides that are combining to form a disaccharide. First of all, two glucose subunit combine to form maltose. Glucose and galactose combine to form lactose. Glucose, if it binds with fructose, then it gives us sucrose. These are the examples of disaccharide, and these are the examples of monosaccharides. Now come to the third class of classification on the basis of number of subunits. These are oligosaccharides. Those sugar which yield 3 to 10 monosaccharide on hydrolysis is known as oligosaccharides. Monosaccharides are joined to each other through glycosidic linkage. इनमें भी glycosidic linkage ही पाया जाता है और इनमें नंबर ऑफ मोनोसैकराइड्स जो हैं वो 3 to 10 होंगे. अगर बिलो 3 to 10 monosaccharide subunit, then oligosaccharide. If only one subunit, then it is monosaccharide. And if it more than 10, then it comes the fourth class of classification on the basis of numbers of subunits, that are polysaccharide. Those sugar which yield more than 10 molecules of monosaccharides are known as are polysaccharide. General formula is given this, further divided into homopolysaccharide and heteropolysaccharide. Homopolysaccharide, polymer of same monosaccharide unit. Like this is the subunit, this is another subunit, this is another subunit. If they all are same, then it gives us the homopolysaccharide. On the other hand, this is one subunit, this is another subunit, this is the third subunit. If they are the polymer of different subunit, then it gives us the heteropolysaccharide. The example of this is CAGs. Same homopolysaccharide, different subunits, then it is heteropolysaccharide. This combination may repeat after this, so on. Complex or derived carbohydrate, that are the formed from different chemical reaction, like oxidation से ग्लाइकोनिक एसिड बनेगा. अगर हम कार्बोहाइड्रेट की रिडक्शन बना करा दें तो ग्लिसरॉल. अमाइनो शुगर्स, like it is the combination of amino acid with carb. And deoxy sugar, if we remove the oxygen from the carbohydrate, then it gives us deoxy sugar. The DNA, in DNA it is a famous sugar that is known as deoxyribose sugar that is present in the